So now, here I have a switch panel that I bought, and I was excited to buy it because I only paid, before taxes, $21.50, I believe it was. It's 50% off, and then after taxes, $23. So it comes with the 6 switches. For that price, though, it has circuit breakers, and other ones have fuses. I was thinking these were fuses, but it's a rubber, whatever you would call this, and you can feel a button underneath there. And I haven't popped it out, tested it out, or whatever. But in any case, it also came, I thought it was one unit, but because they're next to each other actually on the other side in the picture. But yeah, you got your oh, it's upside down. So you have your USB right there, and the other panel that I got that doesn't have fuses or circuit breakers on the front. You actually have inline fuses behind it, so that's why I wanted one of these. But usually they cost at least like twice as much, I think, versus the ones that have inline fuses. So yeah, we got USB there, and we have the 12 volt supply there. But that should be pretty straightforward. You just power this, and it should do the rest. So you know, obviously that's a nice thing to have, and if I was making like a detailed video, I would look at that more closely. But I don't really care about that. I'm more interested in this because this is going to be the more confusing part. So to begin with, we have all these wires back here. So you're going to see there's one connection for the positive supply, one connection for the negative supply. And as far as the load is concerned, it doesn't care about this negative supply at all. You can see how small that wire is right there versus the positive. All the power that the loads, probably you're going to like switch relays or something, or light loads, but all the power is going to be going through this unit from the positive supply onto the load. And the black wire there, that is, you can see where they're all connected together, comes over there. So that is just for powering the LEDs right there, even though it's a kind of a complex web right there. You can just leave this floating if you're going to switch the loads, and you don't care about the light. That's the main thing. So I have the power supply set to 5 volts, and we'll look at that right now. I was doing a little testing, and before we go on, there are gaskets there, and you know, I wouldn't submerge this in water, but I believe it's made to be, you know, semi like waterproof. You know, it's got stickers for labeling, and it's easier to see when you're not filming right there. The reflections are being picked up by light a lot more, and it has some you know, how to wire up, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to do a simple demonstration. Didn't really plan this out, just kind of quickly going together. So there's a gasket. This one has a gasket, looks like it's sticking to it, but the gaskets fall off pretty easy when they're not screwed down. So let's pull that under. So again, I'm only powering both of these, and I have 5 volts. I have the current only set to 20 milliamps of current. I'm only going to light probably one LED at a time. If I light multiple ones, then you know, we'll get that 20 milliamp limit, but that doesn't matter. We're just looking at how this works, and I don't want to damage anything, so I got current limited. So there you can see LED is lit, and actually, yeah, it'd probably help if I do that. So you can see a light on the switch right there, and we have the light up there. So you need that. That must be why there's 2 connections. Yeah, one of these is for the switch, and then they just piggyback at some point. You know, all of these are like connected to each other, but then there's a little wire that comes up there to give the negative side of the LEDs right there in this thing, which is kind of interesting right there. I don't think I've ever seen a setup like that before. And then the switches. When you close the switch, one thing it does is it connects the positive supply right there. So this is where you attach the positive supply for everything you're going to power with it, and probably like relays and stuff. As you can see, this is not intended for high current loads. So you would also have the relay attached to the battery. This would turn the relay on or whatever. But there's our output right there. And so you can see this thicker wire right there comes down there. And so that is all part of the positive. When the switch is closed, it connects between these two right there. So That's the main thing. This is all one connection. It's going through the fuse. So if the fuse blows, then you'll break, or the circuit breaker, I mean. Circuit breaker pops, or whatever it's called. I don't really do much with circuit breakers. Then it'll not be connected there. But otherwise, you'll have a connection coming down there. Well, the switch is open. There's a gap between these two. You close the switch, and the gap is closed. So the wire there, you can see how small it is. Just lighting an LED for the most part. Coming to the negative supply there. If you have that, you don't even need that. Otherwise, you got your positive connection here. As long as nothing goes wrong, close the switch, and it connects to this little spade right there. So what I'm going to do is unplug the negative side right there. We already saw an LED light up. So it's in the on position right now. The rest are off. I'm going to take this breadboard right there, and I'm going to clip the alligator clip to there. So this is what you will do. You can have, something going to your load. It's going to be very light load, just a blue LED right there. And so we have a light load. So you put the negative side of the battery bank that you got or whatever, 12 volts. That's all this is intended for. It's working with the 12 volt battery. And you can connect part of the battery, negative, have one wire, I should say, coming from the negative side of the terminal to over there, and then another one going to your load, which would have to be bigger. You can see how little this black wire is right there. So a serious load, you would need a thicker wire. Now what I'm going to do is grab a other jumper that I have with the alligator clip. I thought it would be closer, so I'll be right back. So now I found it. It was just under this stuff. Also, that resistor that was over there might have been a bit distracting, so I removed it. But in any case, I'm just going to plug this into the red rail there of the power supply. And now we're going to come to the switch. So that's all this is right now, is a switch, on-off switch. It does have the circuit breaker, but we're nowhere near 5 amps right there. And it's a little cluttered. Again, I didn't really plan this video out. I'm just kind of doing it quickly. But there we go. I turned the switch on, and our load is on. Pretty straightforward. Light load. Again, if you're switching like a really big load, you would be using a relay or something. You would use this to turn on the relay, which doesn't need much power, and then that relay will actually switch a load. So yeah, that LED is not on because, again, we got the jumper, or the negative side over there. So you'd want a couple different connections. This is just for the LED, as you can see there. That's all it's for. And I got current limited 20 milliamps. I didn't realize that was on. And so yeah, that's just for lighting the LEDs. That negative right there. This is providing power to the LEDs from those little wires there. And then when the switch is on, because that's going to where the load is, as well as you can see there, there's the little spade. That's what I clipped to. So this is called a piggyback spade. You got your female spade connector there, but sticking off of it is a male spade connector. So I can plug another female spade connector on there. And in this case, I just clipped an alligator clip like that. Pretty straightforward, just for a practice. So again, it looks complicated, but is extremely simple once you are aware of how it works. So there you can see the circuit breaker. Again, I haven't forced it to pop out, and I usually work with much less than 5 amps of current, so I don't really have anything set up quick try to give it like 10 amps or something. But in any case, that's the supply power right there going through the breaker, which it should always be doing, and I don't see a reset. Maybe there's a reset somewhere, or whatever sets it, and then you can reset it. But in any case, that brings the power over there, and then it can switch over to that spade, which will provide power to the load when it's switched, and also to the LED, so the LED turns on. So when it comes to wiring, all you really do, give the supply voltage, and then this voltage for the LEDs, but that's it. It's only going to the LEDs. You have to give the negative to whatever load you got. So that's the supply power. What goes out to the load, just that male spade that's sticking off the piggyback spade right there. That's it for the load. That's all the load cares about. Pretty simple and straightforward. So again, I paid about $21.50, I believe it was, plus tax. And I just looked at the website. I thought it would go up. I thought that'd be a really short 50% off. But yeah, usually that was before taxes. Usually these are, especially with the 6 of these breakers right there. Other ones have fuses that you untwist, which I thought this was. I didn't look close enough. But in any case, if you see these black round things, whether they're unscrewed to put in a fuse or pop out a fuse or a breaker, it's probably going to be, with 6 of these, probably like $60, you know, especially considering when you got one of these as well, especially also with the lights on top. Some of them, the cheaper ones, that's the only light that you got there. And then the even cheaper ones, instead of the circuit breakers, you got a wire that comes out that goes to the load that has a little fuse box on there for all of the switches right there. So I did a video with my other switch panel that was like that. That was just a little bit cheaper than this, actually, on sale as well. Normally that was more. So, in any case, again, not a great review. I just quickly thought of this and threw it together right there. But I hope you still enjoyed. I'll try to remember to link this right now. If you just saw this video, it should still be about 50% at Amazon right there. If you do use that link, I get a small commission of that at no extra cost to you. So that's one benefit. But otherwise, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.